want to go through some Abby stuff real quick. Abby, are you ready? Are you standing by?
I'm ready. Ready as I'm going to be.
Quick recap. A couple weeks ago, Abby said, hey, this guy accidentally texted me a picture. He said, oops, I didn't know that was your number. I meant to text my fire chief. And he's like a good-looking guy in a fireman
suit, whatever.
What is it? A uniform?
Yeah, there you go.
Uniform. And so then Abby's like, wow, well, you're cute. Let's start talking. And we're like, watch out, Abby. It could be a scam. And then he goes, it's not a scam. I meant to send this to my fire chief. And then he lists he shows Abby his fire chief's number. Well, we call his fire chief. That wasn't a fire chief. So we look him up on Instagram. We can all see his Instagram page. For some reason, Abby can't. He's blocked her. And we're like, Abby, this is not good. Run. Walk. Run. Whatever it takes. Get away. But she's still texting him. I'm like, oh, how was your day, boo-boo?
Oh, my gosh. I never said boo-boo.
Yeah, I felt like
What'd you have for dinner?
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's a bad dude.
No.
But I know that it doesn't seem like he's on the up and up. Morgan's theory was he found her number, acted like he didn't know who she was, knew her from the show, and then tried to have a relationship, establish some communication. And if that's the case, he did have a chance to admit it. And he didn't, right?
Yeah, that's what we were waiting for.
And Abby,
he never did. No, he's never admitted.
And leading up to when she got that text, like that week or the week before, we had been doing a segment on Abby being single and trying to find her somebody, and Lunchbox, catfishing her in a way. And so I don't know if maybe that planted the seed in this guy's head is like, oh, maybe I can sneak my way into her text messages.
And you FaceTimed him. He's a real person.
Yeah, he's real. Like, that's the whole thing. And I mean, yeah, to Amy's point, like, I was thinking this whole time, oh, could this be Lunchbox? Is he up to this? That's why I even brought it to the show. And then it turns into, I don't think it's Lunchbox.
Mike D has told me, Mike D monitors our email account. He said that we've got more emails about this than anything in years. People just having opinions. Or people going, here's a question, Abby. Has Abby FaceTimed the firefighter from home, or was he only at the station?
The first time he was in his car. In a parking lot. So, yeah, I've never had from home because I only have twice. So, he wasn't home.
The question is, will he FaceTime at home? Thanks, Whitney.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that,
Is that an eyebrow raiser to you? Like,
I guess he was running errands, so I didn't think anything of it, but looking back.
Here's another one. It says, not a scam, but he's hiding something. A similar thing happened to me with a firefighter. I live outside of Wichita, Kansas. About 6 months ago, this very thing happened to me on Instagram. I mean, exact. I lived in Wichita. Firefighter accidentally thought I was someone he went to school with. Never wanted to meet me in person. The only time he would talk was when he was at work at his firehouse. Was always willing to give out numbers to those he works with, but the numbers were always wrong. Come to find out, he was on Tinder, Hinge, POF. I don't know what that is.
Plenty of fish.
Okay, Amy.
Okay.
Wow.
Knew that a little too quick.
I don't know. I just put it together.
She said, way too similar. Just wonder if it's the same guy. I would say block and abort mission for sure. Okay.
Oh, that's wild.
Here's another one. Says FaceTime can still be a scam. So relating to Abby's saga, there are a ton of men out there scamming and saying they're from cities in the U.S., but clearly they are not. And yes, they FaceTime you as part of the scam. And change... they wrote a typo here. And change you should number afterwards or get another phone. Oh, that's change your number. Okay. If he's for real, he would not have blocked his Instagram. But it's fun to bust those dummies. I do love all the updates. Signed, Wendy. And then finally, are we sure he's still single? The fireman, are we sure the guy is single? Blocking someone on social media doesn't allow Abby to comment on a post that someone would see, possibly raising questions as to why this woman, Abby, is commenting. Abby should casually... I don't want to mention this because you could say something and then... you're not going to...
No.
Are you still talking to him? So can I read this final sentence, what they say to you?
Yeah, you can read it.
Abby should casually mention that our work is sending her to where he lives next month to see his reaction.
Ooh.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
That's scary.
Would you bet he's listening to this right now?
I don't think right now, but I think he's going to right after. Yeah, he's at work. So.
What would you like to say to him?
Oh, man. Well, just like looking back, what's crazy to me is how supposedly you say it was an accident, but how come you were so like open to sharing your whole life with me, Like for me being a complete stranger to you, you sure told me a lot about yourself and your family and everything. So it's like, and you knew I was on the radio too.
How?
How did he know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was after the FaceTime, and he knew I'm in radio.
Mm-hmm.
And even after listening back and after the whole deal where he listened back to all the shows, he still continued to tell me personal things about his family. You know? And I'm like, I didn't really tell him that much about mine.
Does it
I'm
make
like, "You're
you
a stranger."
sad?
Does it make me sad?
Does this make you sad?
I mean, it's too exhausting at this point. Like, I'm like, okay, there's just too many red flags. And I also realized that he was like distracting me with things like the tour, you know, like of the firehouse, and kind of avoiding some things because obviously that got my attention, was the fire station. But then I'm over here ignoring the major red flags. So
Here's what I'll say, and then I'll move on, and we'll only accept updates if any are needed.
mm-hmm.
But we have a lot of friends in places, low and high, actually. There was a background check done.
Oh gosh.
Do you know about it?
I knew there was one kind of being done, but I don't know many of the findings.
Yeah,
I'm kinda scared.
I would just chill. That's what I'll tell you.
Just chill?
Just chill and don't talk. Just stay away.
Okay. Like sketchy? There's some sketchy stuff going on?
No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say sketchy stuff at all, but I would just say if I were you and I were single and I were a young, 31, 32, I probably would just go, hey, you know what? This isn't for me. The situation, how it's all come together and how I feel about it's probably not for me.
Right.
Okay?
What I've learned is he is a real person, but I don't think I'm ever going to have the answer.
He is
for real.
You're right. He's a real
very
person.
real. Yes.
He's very real.
Okay. But I don't think I'm going to have the answers of how he found me.
Correct.
The truth.
And you know what? That's okay. I told you guys I have to get a new phone because people call me now and just yell F you in my phone because somehow they got my number.
That's crazy.
Why don't they send me fireman pictures? I'd rather have that. Then people just screaming F you, I hope you die. Oh, they all get all kinds of stuff. It says no caller ID, and I'm going, okay, who is this? Because sometimes work calls will come from no caller ID from different places. And I'm like, hello? You're going to hear, like someone's driving in the car, you know that wind? Is this Bobby? And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to go one or two ways. I'm about to get a job offer in my dreams, or I'm about to be told F you.
That's quite the difference.
And so I go like this. I go, huh? And they'll go, hey, you suck. Your show sucks. I hope you die. F you. Click. And I'm like, wow, man.
I like that.
And those happen a lot more than job offers. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
So after 20 years, I have to change my phone number. And then I get to decide what people I get to give the new number.
Oh, that's always fun.
That's always a tricky situation. So, Abby, I would just say we did a background check. There's nothing that would say you're in danger or anything like that at all. Zero. Probably a fine
Good.
guy. But I would just say as you being who you are, I would just chill.
I mean, emotional danger, maybe.
The whole thing's emotionally damaging now anyway.
I know. At this point, I just feel bad for Abby. And yeah, I think just distance yourself from the whole thing and let's act like it never happened.
Unless
Yeah.
he texts you, then update us. But other than that, stay away.
And that's the thing. All the messages I've gotten from listeners too that can relate. I mean, like I think people like myself that have pure intentions, we don't think that someone's going to do that. You know, we're like, why would they do that to someone like me? So
Same. I'm like, why would
you know.
somebody call me on the phone and yell F you?
Yeah,
Like, I just want pure
exactly.
intentions. Like, how's your day going? Would you like a
Yes.
job? You know? Just hang in there, Abby, okay?
Okay, well, thank you all for your help. I appreciate it.
Hey, case closed.
Done.
We need the little thing. Like the,
All right, Abby, back to the phones.
I'm sure we're getting calls right now.
I'm sure we're getting a ton of calls.
You need to answer.
It's a Bobby Bones Show.